Powerhouse Hobbs. Okay, we're going to get Powerhouse Willie Hobbs in a single match. I can't wait to see this. I couldn't wait for the first 20 seconds as he was coming down the ramp until Brian Cage out of nowhere just tackles him halfway down the ramp and jump starts the thing. And that useless corpse referee that looks like one of Baron von Raschke's wasted sperms, Rick Knox, stood there on the floor and watched Cage beat the shit out of Hobbs on the floor and bash him into the railing back and forth and did absolutely nothing. And then he throws Hobbs in the ring and gets in the ring, and the referee just rings the bell to start the match like, okay. And they think they even call attention. Well, the referee hadn't started the match yet to make sure the people know, well, he shouldn't be counting them out because they're on the floor because the match hadn't started yet. No, it just looks even phonier and faker because the referee is standing there doing nothing. And then when one of the guys is at a horrible disadvantage, then he rings the bell. Because that's fair. Whether it's the heel or the babyface, either one. It's fucking god damn it. Anyway, finally, Hobbs took over and started to get some heat, and they went to the break. So in the commercial, I guess Hobbs is getting some steam on Cage. They come back, and Hobbs is kicking the shit out of Cage. Hobbs is a future superstar. He's got everything. If he gets somewhere where he can work with good talent and get proper instruction, he's $1 million guy. The way that he's moving around, the way he's picked up on this already, just the way he looked. But Cage, his selling is the shits. He's so robotic in his movements that it made Hobbs look like shit and drug the match down, in my opinion. And even when Cage uncorks some of his flippy-do stuff, it's not like a guy actually being in a match. It's like a guy going out there and doing flips and or performing moves, and it's obvious that he's doing it at the same pace, the same speed, and or the guy's helping him or whatever. It just, Cage is just, his boots are in fucking mud. Even when he's moving fast, he still looks see-through. I don't know. It's like trying to have a match with one of those stand-up punching dummies, right? The top half is a human being, but the bottom half is the thing with sand filled in it. You can't knock it over. He's just a fucking robot. And finally, Ricky Starks from out of nowhere hit Cage in the head with the title belt, and Hobbs power slammed him. I'd love to see Hobbs against anybody else but Brian Cage. What'd you think?
I agree with you. Hobbs was impressive. I love Taz on commentary. Hook, for someone who does nothing, I'm okay with him. Like, the fans seem to be into him at ringside.
It's the hair getting heat.
I don't think we're ever going to see him work a match. I'm convinced of that, but there's something about him that I get a kick out of. Ricky Starks is great. Cage does all the moves that the Bucks crew does. But like you said, maybe it's because he's so bulky or what, but he looks like he's doing it in slow motion at times. I didn't like this match because I'm not a big fan. The more I see a Brian Cage, the less I want to see a Brian Cage. The more I see Powerhouse Hobbs, the more I want to see him do something, but kind of ready for them to do something else with Team Taz. I've been ready for a while, but for real, do something else. Taz is so fucking talented on a mic. He's one of the best guys there on the mic. He's one of the best guys there on commentary. Ricky Starks has been great. Hobbs has as much potential as anyone there. As much potential as anyone that people throw the term potential at, like a Jungle Boy, who may have a ceiling that a Will Hobbs doesn't.
Well, and I agree because Jungle Boy, and we've said this before, if he had started in a good training program and got the fucking picture, he's an excellent worker when he's having a wrestling match. But he gets into too many of the spot fests with the goofs, and he's more comfortable doing that now than he is actually having real matches. And it's hurt him. And with the size thing, he's a great underdog and a great babyface, sympathetic babyface you want to root for. But he's got to figure out how to talk and get him a personality. How do these guys ever fucking get pussy if they can't talk and tell stories and have a line of bullshit?
On Tinder.
Say it again?
They use apps to meet women.
Oh, good Lord.
Hey,
Anyway.
I'm in Atlanta for a day. What are you doing?
God damn it. Anyway, but the same thing is that Jungle Boy will have a ceiling of some description because of the size and if he doesn't learn how to talk, whereas Hobbs in 5 years could be main event in WrestleMania. You don't have any idea because he's got unlimited potential if he doesn't learn too many bad fucking habits. Anyway, Malachi Black, the promo package. He's got the spookiness. He's got the cards. He's going to put coins on his opponent's eyes to pay the boatman's bill, the toll. I love that shit. Don't pay the ferryman until he gets you to the other side, by the way. Who was that?
Jerry and the Pacemakers.
Oh, come on. No, that's Ferry Across the Mercy.
I wanted to see if I'd pop you with that one.
Don't pay the ferryman until he gets you to the other side. Don't pay the ferryman. Da-da-da. You don't remember that?
I don't remember that.
All right. Well, I wish I could remember the fucking guy's name. Who was it? God damn it.
Who sings? What's the name of the
Type it in now. Don't pay the ferryman. I'm going to hate myself that I can't remember this goddamn name. Help me.
Here it is. Don't pay the ferryman by Chris de Burgh.
Chris de Burgh, who also did The Lady in Red. Yeah. But Don't Pay the Ferryman's a very underappreciated tune. Very spooky, atmospheric thing.
I prefer Jerry and the Pacemakers. Don't Let the Sun Catch You Crying. Ferry Across the Mercy.
I like
it.
I prefer that duet that Michael Jackson and Elton John were going to do. Don't Let Your Sun Go Down on Me.
Oh, come on. See, that's so inappropriate. All right. What's coming? Malachi did a good promo. What's next?
Malachi did a good promo. You know, they were trying right before Michael Jackson died. They were trying to do a sponsorship with him and McDonald's. They were going to do a McMichael sandwich. That's a 40-year-old piece of meat in between two 10-year-old buns. But anyway, next
That's
up.
awful. Come on.
We had QT Marshall.
By the way, how many sandwich jokes do you have? Because I've always said this. I remember you appearing on Adelphi University's radio, Dave the Pile Driver Schwartz's show. I remember you doing a promo in the 90s saying, you're eating a Pee Wee Herman sandwich. That's a Reuben, hold the pickle.
Yeah.
And now you have another sandwich joke about another guy went down in the early 90s with a big scandal.
A lot of my food jokes are, I have jokes about food, but also more jokes about Pee Wee Herman besides food. You know, the Pee Wee Herman, after that whole kerfluffle, he wanted to act as his own attorney because he was convinced he could get himself off.
You just said that one recently. So.
All right. Nevertheless,